Hey guys, John at Midnight Paint and Body. In this video, I'm going to take you guys along on some average auto body repairs and show you why it's always more than just touch-ups. So the car we're going to be working on this week is this nice Lincoln. As you can see, it's a very nice car. Customer takes really nice care of it. I did a little bit of work on this a while back. I think I did a small repair on this fender, if I remember correctly. But we're going to be going around and taking care of a few small issues on it. And I'm going to kind of show you guys what's involved. Now, I get people sometimes, or I hear people say, oh, just a couple of dents I want pulled, or, you know, it's really never that easy. So I'll take you for a quick walk around. I'll show you what we're doing. So starting up here, we have a little bit of rust starting around the windshield. So I've got the glass shop coming out to remove this windshield, but I'm gonna just get some of that dusty stuff done first. Small dent in this rear door. So I've marked with some tape, but I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera. A little dent there. Now, going around the car, there are some scratches here on the deck lid he wants repaired. There are some marks down this quarter panel where something's rubbed, or the car's rubbed up against something. A small dent here by the fuel door. And then there's also this small little dent here in this rear door. So, stuff like that turns into a lot of paint work. So, because we're going to be fixing the rust along the roof, we're going to be painting the roof. Because we're fixing a dent here, so, you know, we're going to have a repair here, we'll end up painting this door, we'll end up painting this quarter panel, we're going to end up painting this deck lid, and then, because we're doing this door, we might as well paint this quarter panel and into this door. Now, with these kind of repairs, I will be keeping my repair as small as I can back here because we don't want our color, our paint, to go up to this next panel. Now, I've said this before in these videos, these modern colors with a lot of pearl and small flake in them, they're not designed to be butt matched or butt painted. If you were to take this color and paint right to this edge, the likelihood is it is not going to match no matter what you do, no matter how much you mess around tinting the color. I mean, sure, you could do 37 spray out cards and spend an entire day getting it perfect to where you could butt match it, and you might get lucky. You might just mix this color and paint it right to the edge, and it might be close enough. But what we typically do with collision work, with auto body work, we're going to repair this dent, we're going to paint, but we're going to stop our paint, if that makes sense, before we get to the adjoining panel, and then we clear coat the panel, so we're going to retain that factory color match. Now, the other thing we're going to do on this car, because it has the factory painted on pinstripes, we're going to be saving those stripes. I don't want to be getting into having any paint over those, so we're going to be masking those and then we'll clear over them. That's actually what I did on that front fender when I worked on this car. I think I might have done this door too, I don't remember. So, I just figured I'd take you guys along and kind of show you just, you know, mostly just to kind of give people insight into what's involved if you're having this kind of work done. You know, it's never, you know, you can't just fix that dent and paint that dent, because then you're going to have just a blotch of paint in the middle of the door. It just doesn't work like that. So, if that all makes sense, let's get started. So I've started getting a couple of these little spots ready for just a little bit of body filler, just some small little dents, that's minor. Fellas from the glass shop just left. So as you can see, the reason I had the windshield taken out before painting the roof, so you can see how far down this rust is going, so I'm going to have to clean up right down inside there. And then even down these troughs here, I've got some pretty good scale in here. So, I mean, not only is that only going to get worse, but so when you've got that going on underneath your windshield, that's taking away from the structure of the windshield. You know, their windshield is a structural part of these cars. So if it's not adhered like that because of the rust, you're actually taking strength away from the vehicle. So, you know, as with rust, you know, it always does. It always seems to snowball. So I'm going to be cleaning up more than I had anticipated, but I can't just leave that. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up around this windshield. I'm going to put some plastic over it first to keep the interior clean. And then I'll carry on and show you guys what's next. So let's take another look at this windshield opening here, guys. So, as you can see, this rust is going way in there. It's a lot worse than I thought on these side troughs, both sides. So that just kind of shows you, had I just cleaned up the front of this roof and painted it without having that windshield removed, this would not have been a good repair. So, you know, the rust stuff always goes a little further. I mean, this is a super nice car. It, you know, has no visible rust issues. But in here, you know, it was bad. And you can see with this amount of rust, this windshield didn't have good adhesion. That would have, you know, in an accident, this windshield could have just crashed right out of there. So, I do have more cleanup to do. That's deep enough where I'm actually going to have to sandblast this. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on some of the other stuff on the car for a bit. And then a little later this afternoon, I'm going to mask all around this windshield and dust it with the sandblaster before I prime it. So there you go. Now you know what to look for and what you can find. Now, sometimes with this stuff, I mean, I've given this customer a price on this job, knowing I had to go in here, but I didn't expect all of this. But, I mean, I've given him a price and I'll honor it, but I couldn't in good conscience leave something like that, especially being that it could be a safety concern. So anyway, I'm going to carry on with the job and I'll kind of bring you guys back for periodic check-ins. All right, another little check-in here, guys. So I have got around the windshield frame cleaned up pretty good. I did just, in this case, go around it with my little handheld sandblaster. So there's sand all over the shop now, but that's okay. Cold outside. So just our few little repairs. I noticed there was a little crack here on the edge of this deck lid, and these are a composite deck lid on these. They're not metal. So I did a little repair there. A couple more dents we fixed. So kind of shows you how these little things turn into big things. So, you know, there's no just simple way of fixing a small dent without painting the panel. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. So, and you guys might have noticed I'm kind of suffering from a bit of a man cold right now. You know how serious those can be. So, dragging my ass a little bit. But, so yeah, anyway, I'm going to blow this down one more time, get it in the paint booth, mask it up, get some primer on it. So I've got the old Lincoln in the booth, masked up for some primer. So you can see, pretty straightforward stuff. Oh, just all of our little spots we have that need primer. So I'm going to mix up a quick little bit of epoxy primer for the bare metal, and then we'll give it a couple of coats of just the urethane high build primer. And next time you see it, we should be ready to do some prep work. Well, I've got some primer on the Lincoln. I've got it out of the booth. So I'm just going to basically pull the plastic back and start doing a bunch of the sanding around the primer. I'll let the primer sit overnight, do the primer spots tomorrow. But there's lots of these big areas that can be sanded now. You'll notice I left the plastic on it. This is just something I always do. I like to leave them masked up when I can, and I'll do the prepping. And then that way, if I do have to add some primer, I'm not remasking the whole car. So, just one of those things when you've been doing this a long time. It can sometimes save a little time, a little material. But yeah, I'm going to pull this back, do a little sanding, and then I'll kind of bring you guys back periodically and show you what's involved. Well, good morning everyone. It's the next day. So I've started a little prepping on the Lincoln. So I thought I'd kind of bring you guys in and explain a few things, show you a few things. I think kind of the premise of this video was kind of explaining why these small repairs turn into a big thing. So now, just for instance, so now we had a couple of dents in this door, so I've repaired those dents. I have primed it. I have prepped the primer, so I've block sanded this area. So now, obviously because we are fixing the dents in this door, we are having to paint this whole door. Now also, because our color is going to be right to the adjoining panel, we're going to be doing this door as well. So this door will be a blend panel. So I've explained in my videos before with these colors, so I will be putting my paint over the primer until it's covered, and then we kind of blend that paint off onto the adjoining panel, and then we clear coat that whole panel. So now, as you can see, so we're doing, because of a dent here, we're doing this entire door. So all the way around, right up to the top. Now we're also doing the roof, the front of the roof. So now because of this, we're doing the front of this roof, we're doing the entire roof. So that brings us down these sail panels. We're doing this little dent here by the fuel door. So now that's taken us, so we're doing the roof, we're doing this door, blending that door, we're doing this quarter panel. We had a couple of marks in this deck lid, one was back here, a little repair I did there. So now, of course, we're doing the deck lid. So this quarter panel didn't have any damage, but we will be blending off of this deck lid onto this quarter panel. And then of course we're doing this door as well. And I think we have enough room to blend without going into the front door. So you can see how just a few small dents has turned into painting half the car. Now, it is still different than a paint job. Now that's a tough one to explain, but because this is just some repairs, you know, these handles have a nice hard edge, so I'm going to mask them rather than taking them out. I am going to be masking off these painted factory pinstripes and saving them, and I'll show you how we do that when we get to it. But you know, if this was an actual paint job, I would have the bumpers off and the taillights out and the handles and the moldings and the, you know, all of this trim, you know, all of these tight rubbers. But because this is just a repair job, we're not getting into that extreme of had it been, you know, an actual complete paint job. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to continue on with some prepping. And then, yeah, I might bring you guys back periodically, but other than that, I think probably next time you see it, I'll have it all sanded and we'll get it into the paint booth to get it masked up for paint. So I've got the Lincoln all prepped up and in the paint booth. So as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, of course, we're doing the roof all the way down this side, around the back, and up this side. So, you know, those few little spots, they turn into a bunch of big spots. So my intention was actually to have this car painted today, but it's kind of just been one of those days of, yeah, just customers and stuff going on and some unexpected running around, and it's getting close to the end of the day now, so I'll probably start a little bit of masking on it, but I think I'm pretty close to being done for the day, so it'll be painted tomorrow, so not a big deal. So I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to paint, maybe take you along for a bit of the painting process. Well, we've got the Lincoln all masked up in the booth. So you might be thinking, that's a sweet orange pinstripe. So, kind of mentioned earlier to you guys, so we're gonna save these factory painted on pinstripes. So what we're gonna do there is obviously just mask off the stripe, and then I will be putting my paint on, and then kind of whatever blows over the stripes blows over. We'll peel that stripe off and clear coat the whole thing. And apparently the shop cat is talking to us. Hi, Louie. Oh yeah, no, let's not kick in all the dust out of the filters. Okay. Well, apparently I need to clean the filters. So this kind of gives you a look at how much we end up doing on the car. So a little more visual once it's all masked up like that. So I'm gonna go mix up a little paint. In this case, it is Ford DB. So I'll look it up on my program, go to our mixing bank, mix up some paint, and before you know it, we're gonna be painting. All right, guys, we are ready to put some paint on this thing. So I thought I'd bring you along for the first bit here, kind of show you the blending process with the base coat and kind of how we go about this. Now you see, like I said, in a spot like this where we don't want our color going all the way to the next panel, we're just going to kind of blend it off. So you can kind of see we're not going all the way up, so we're going to maintain our factory color match. And then, you know, we kind of hit all these primer spots. This will only take 3 coats. And then I'll just kind of blend out over everything when we get to that point. And now that kind of shows you where I talked about blending into an adjoining panel. So we're just kind of letting the color fall on the next panel. As you can see, and when we clear coat it, we'll clear the whole panel. Now the reason I stopped this panel at this body line, quite honestly, was just so I didn't have to take the mirror off. If I would have gone right to the top of the door for the clear coat, I would have had to take all the interior panels off and taken that side view mirror off. But it just wasn't really necessary for what I'm doing here. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what's involved in this part of it. I'm not going to keep the camera going. There'll be 2 more coats of base coat, maybe 3. And then I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to put on some clear coat. So we're ready for clear coat. So the base coat is all set up. I have tacked it off already. As you can see, I have pulled the tape off of our pinstripes. So those are just going to get cleared over.
So I figured I'd bring you guys along for the first coat of clear. Damn it. I'm getting a ton of moisture through there again. Alright, I gotta go drain the compressor and come back. Alright, try this again. I really don't know why that's happening.
Well, there's a first coat of clear coat on. As you probably noticed there, I got some moisture through the line again. Or if you follow along my channel, I had that problem when we painted the Charger. It hasn't really been an issue since, and it was never an issue before that, so I'm not sure what's going on. Obviously my air dryer is not working properly, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, but hopefully I can just get this job finished up here. So I'm gonna let it set for 10 minutes, put another coat of clear on it. Next time you guys see it, it'll be all sprayed up. So another little peek here, guys, before I finish this one up. So when you paint in a homemade paint booth like I do, this is your best friend right here. I didn't record this process. I didn't do a hell of a lot on it, actually. I did some wet sanding and polishing, mostly on the flat panels. If you're interested in that stuff, I did a video, actually on that orange Charger a little while back, doing the sand and polish. Now, I've said before, I'm certainly no expert at it. I can make stuff look good. There's probably guys out there, well, there's definitely guys out there that are much better at it than I am. But, you know, I can show you the basics. And as you can see, this one looks nice. So our finish is super nice on it now. Get rid of those few dust nibs. And like I showed you, I got that bit of moisture. It was kind of concentrated right here, but that came out no problem at all. So my next step is done mask this thing, wait for the glass guys. I'm going to take you for a quick walk through the shop, show you some upcoming stuff. Now, this little Honda Prelude actually, I'll probably do a video on it. It's actually here for the whole winter, but it's going to be getting completely redone, so I'm going to be stripping this car right down and redoing it. The guy that owns it just loves it, wants to keep her alive, so I'll be getting to that. There will probably be another video or two coming on the Charger. There's definitely going to be more to come on the 52 sedan delivery. I should have the rest of my sheet metal next week. And then we've got this little Nova in, which I've actually worked on before. I think I did this fender on it. So it's back for a few other things. So we'll see. Maybe there'll be a video on that. You know, let me know, guys, if that's the kind of stuff you want to see. I mean, obviously, muscle car is cool. Now this kind of import stuff, if that's something you're into, let me know if you want to see videos on that. You know, the muscle cars and hot rods are definitely more my thing, but you know, I appreciate these things too. This is going to be a cool project. So anyway, guys, I'm going to unmask this car, wait for the glass guys. Once I've got her finished up, we'll come in for the last look and some last thoughts on it. So hopefully you're still sticking around for that. Well, good morning, guys. It's the next day. So as you can see, the Lincoln turned out great. Oh, you noticed? Okay. Okay, so what happened there, I know I was going to do a quick walk around of the Lincoln when it was all done, cleaned up, ready for the customer. I got busy yesterday doing other things, finished up the car, customer came, picked it up. I forgot to film an outro. So, here it is. Anyway, I think we got enough on the video. Hopefully I haven't edited it yet. Well, I guess I have if you're watching this, but I haven't right now. Future me will have edited it so you guys can watch it. Anyway, I hope there was enough there to kind of help you guys out. I just wanted to kind of show you what's involved when you have that kind of a job, you know, small dent, big panel, kind of what happens, the whole process. So hopefully it helps. If it does, if it doesn't, whatever the case, leave me a comment so I can keep making videos, improve making videos, whatever. Just let me know, guys, what you like, what you don't like. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back and check out the next one.